So I'm gonna go ahead and actually just go ahead and get started. No reason not to. We're gonna go into standard mode today. We're gonna run the defect. So this character, the focus of this entire run is we're going to try to make a really good lightning run. It's supposed to take advantage of the starting relic here called Crack Core, which at the start of each combat lets me channel one lightning. We'll kind of get into what that means here in a few minutes. But this is one of my very, very favorite games, and this is my favorite character in the game, so I'm excited. Yeah, the goal is to do the thing, Brad. The goal is to make the perfect lightning build and not screw up, you know. Generally, that seems pretty ideal, but we'll see how it goes. And I'm going to go ahead and embark here, which should start the game. Oh no. I totally haven't failed at this before. Never. No, of course not. All right, so we have these four options to start, these four modifiers. Removing a card at the start isn't going to be very good because we get like 4 attacks and 6 defense to start, so that's just probably not something that matters. 3 random potions wouldn't be bad, but I wouldn't. It wouldn't be ideal here. Lose 7 max HP, obtain a random rare relic. This one's interesting because you start with 75 max hit points, as you can tell up here. So starting with 68 is a risk. It's basically losing just over 10% of my health in order to try to get a better relic, which honestly might be worth it. And then lose your starting relic and obtain a random boss relic. This would just be completely counterproductive to what I'm trying to do. So I think I'm between 3 random potions and obtain a random rare relic. Chat, do you have any input on this? It's sort of like potions can be all sorts of things. I've seen potions give health out. I've seen them give more potions out. There are different power up effects that you can get from the potions. Um, I'm thinking obtain random rare relic is probably the play here, though. So, let's sacrifice 10% of our health. I'm sure that won't burn me later. Alright, so that gave us Tori. Oh, this is such a good relic. Whenever you were to receive 5 or less unblocked attack damage, reduce it to 1. This is super ideal because one of the cards in the rotation that you can get is something called it's like static discharge or static lightning or something like that, but basically if you get hit you channel a lightning, and so you don't want to get hit generally, but if you're going to get hit you're trying to get as little damage as possible. If you're taking 5 or less unblocked attack damage at this point, that's only 1 damage you're taking because of this relic. So this relic actually plays perfectly into the strategy that we're going for. So that hopefully will help. At least that's the hope. Um, so let's go ahead and I'm going to look at the paths. We start with 99 gold. An early store, let me show you this legend over here. So the question marks are unknown. The money bags are merchants where you can buy stuff. Treasure, you can get relics out of that as well as money. Rest sites, you can heal or you can power up a card. And then there are other things that can happen that can give you more options at that site. Enemies are these little things with the ears and devil horns. And then the bigger devil horns are the elites, which are these things. These are really hard rooms, so I try to fight as few of them as possible, unless I'm confident in my build. Which at the start, I'm not confident in this build yet. I'm kind of looking at these paths, and I really like the idea of going left. But we have to deal with a boss, then a campfire, then we would get money, and then we get a shop, but then we have to fight 2 more enemies, and so it gets awkward. But the big boss is right here. This is like the floor boss, and this character right here is going to be very big and very hard to beat. At least that's, that's the goal that the developers intend. So, I'm thinking the far left is probably the move. None of these are particularly great to start, but usually I either go for as many question marks as I can, or I go for as many enemies as I can, depending on the situation. So I think this build, we want to start here and try to luck into some really good stuff. Okay, let's go ahead. So our two enemies, we have these little bug things. They have curl up, which what that does is if they take damage, they get blocked based on the little green number in the bottom here. And also, let me switch over to where you can see it. That might help. There we go. So actually, that kind of makes the references that I've made. Hopefully the descriptions were good enough. But we'll see kind of how this goes. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this one. This one. And then there's 7 damage that currently would be taken. I'm going to play the defend card, and because of the relic Tori, this should only do 1 damage to me. So it should be minimal damage to hopefully get me moving a little bit. So I get weakened, which means I do 25% less damage for 2 turns, which is unfortunate, but also should probably be fine. I'm going to go for the zap to get a second lightning, which at the end of the turn, it'll do 3 damage to a random enemy. So I'm then going to punch this one and defend here. So my goal is to hopefully either hit this one twice or hit this one once. Either way, the opponent should be down to 1 enemy. And yep, perfect. We're going to exit this fight with just one hit point lost, which is super nice early on. So we get some gold. We get this Essence of Darkness potion, which lets us channel a dark orb for each orb slot. We will use that in certain areas, but it's not something that is core to our build. And our build takes lightning, so we want to try to keep as much lightning as possible. The dark orbs will push the lightning out and then do damage to the opponent, which is fine, but it's not necessary for what we're trying to do. Beam Cell. This one's nice. 3 damage, 1 vulnerable for a 0 cost. That's like a super economically friendly card. Alright, so this person wants me to buy potions. I'm going to buy no potions because we need money. And also, look, I didn't take any damage or anything despite getting punched in the face. So that sounds like a developer problem, not a me problem. Let's go for this next question mark. And this happens. So sometimes when you do a question mark, you get a battle event, and that is exactly what happened. So I'm going to go 1 lightning, and then we're going to strike twice, which should result in the opponent going down to 35 health, and it does. Now, Ritual, this specifically gives the character strength at the end of its turn. So it'll do 6 damage this turn, and then 9 damage next turn is sort of how it goes. So we're going to open up with Beam Cell to try and give it vulnerable, which it makes it take 50% more damage, meaning that this 6 becomes a 9. And then if I use Dual Cast, it evokes this twice, which would do 16 damage, which would take it down to 4 health. I don't think that's enough to kill, so I'm just going to block here. We'll go Beam Cell, first strike and second strike, and this enemy is very easily handled. And so this is a really cool little game, and honestly, I wish there was more involved with it. Like, there's 4 different characters. I haven't played the 4th one extensively, but I played the first 3, and this one's just the most fun, honestly. So none of these cards are particularly good for what we're trying to do. Steam Barrier is kind of borderline, but the fact that it decreases the block, I don't like that at all. So we're not going to do that. We're going to skip here. And that brings us to another enemy, which is this Jawworm, who is going to do 11 damage to me. So we're going to full out block if we can, and then punch for as much damage as we can after that. Alright, we're going to block again, lightning, channel, and punch for 6. Opponent should be down to 15 after this, and I think it should be close to a kill next turn, if not there. And yeah, dual cast helps with that. So it takes 16 damage because dual cast evokes the next orb twice, which is 8+8 in this case, and then you could just finish it off with a strike. So this one's interesting. I used to really like recursion in the lightning build, but the problem with recursion is that while it does evoke for 8 damage and then channel the orb back for 3, at least without any extra focus, which we don't worry about focus on this build at all. But the problem is that it's a cost 1 and we only get 3 energy per turn. If we had 4 or 5, I might consider it, but 3 is just not sustainable with that card. So we skip here. And this is not the ideal lightning build start. Ideally, we would hopefully get a ball lightning somewhere, but oh, and then this isn't great. So we can remove a card from our deck by praying, or we can leave. But we lose 7 hit points if we remove a card from our deck, and honestly, I would rather just not. We're at 65 health. I want to keep that up there. So next up, I'm just kind of looking at the paths here. There's no store anywhere up here. So the reason why we're focusing so much on getting to the merchant is because there are cards that we can buy that can help our build. We'll go ahead and smith here, and we'll make beam cell, not bean cell. What? We'll make this do 4 damage and apply 2 vulnerable, so that hopefully we can do some damage. The thought process is we're trying to win, right? We don't want to lose this run. That just wouldn't make any sense. Okay, so this is the elite for this combat, and this is not an ideal elite. It has 8 defense, or it has 8 armor right now. Yeah, right here. At the end of the turn, it gains 8 block. It's called block. But if it runs out of block, it will go into an attacking form, basically. So I'll just kind of do this. And so it's stunned at the moment, which is fine, but we have to be really careful here. This is one of those spots where we kept this. I'm going to go ahead and use the Essence of Darkness to do a bit more damage and channel these orbs. Now what these dark orbs do is at the end of the turn, the orb's damage goes up, and then if we evoke it, it does a bunch of damage to the enemy with the lowest health. So in this case, the thought process is letting these dark orbs cook for a turn, and then trying to do as much damage as we can since we don't have a whole lot to work with right now. Alright, it's looking like it's going to do 18 damage. This is not super ideal. So we're going to block twice. We're going to take 8 damage regardless, I think. Dual cast, I mean, I could, because we could do 24 damage to it. But it's almost better to just save it at this point, I think. So we're just going to do the extra 6 damage and keep charging this up. Now, this is where I really like the lightning build. So, channel, we do that, 18 damage to the opponent, who is looking to attack us still. Beam cell to try and attack it for more damage. And then I'm only blocking once this time. The thought process is like, we gotta do damage to this thing, or we won't beat it. Now dual cast shows value because it evoked for 24 damage twice, and strike can now finish it off. Start each combat with 1 focus. This is actually a really big one here too. So basically, each combat, I will do 1 extra damage. And Thunderstrike, oh my god, this card is sick. Deal 7 damage to a random enemy for each lightning channeled this combat. This is like the ideal card for this build. This is the boss card. This is the finisher. But now I need to get some stuff to cook with, right? So we could rest for 20 hit points, or we can upgrade Thunderstrike, and this isn't an easy decision to make actually, because Thunderstrike, getting it to, I believe it would go to 9 damage each time. Yeah. That would be really good, but 7 is a lot of times enough, so I think we have to rest here. Sarah Plays Sims, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you very much. We're going to proceed here and move on to the treasure. And 72 gold and kunai. So gaining 1 dexterity means our block cards will actually matter a little more. So that's kind of a really solid thing, especially because we do attack a lot. It's not a great one. It's not A tier, but solid B tier probably. All right, looking at this. Runic Capacitor, you would think starting with additional orb slots would be really good, but it's not. Not in this case, because we want our orbs to do damage. However, Bronze Scale starting each combat with 3 thorns is really nice, because basically, you punch something with thorns, it stabs you back. So we're going to definitely take that. That brings us to this enemy, which has 67 health, this is just basically a mini version of the big boss we have to fight later. But we don't have a whole lot as far as attacking moves go here. So actually, I'm going to pass without using anything because it's not attacking me. Okay, so now we need to channel the lightning. And you see here that the negative effect weakened us by 2. Not super ideal, but, you know, it's just how it goes sometimes. And then I think I punch once and then defend to try and minimize the amount of damage I take. But I'm taking 11 damage regardless, and I knew that. I'm not super happy about it, but that's how the game goes. So another big thing is that if it hits 33 hit points, it splits. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to punch as hard as I can, because it's going to take 8 damage here from these 2 orbs, which means it splits at 22. This means that these 2 are a little weaker, is the thought process there. And now we'll go Beam Cell, Zap, Defend, Defend. 12 defense should at least not hurt too much. We will take about 8 damage probably, which is probably fine. Yeah, we're at 45 health. This should be more than enough to get through this. And then strike for the win. And the mid slime is dead here. So we'll take the gold. The fairy bottle is really solid. And I'm definitely taking this. But being able to save yourself from death matters a lot. Especially because of the build that we're playing. And then none of these are worth a shit for this build, so we're just going to skip them. And this brings us to another boss. And this one is an Angie boy. Punch. Punch. I think I have to pass here. Okay, so I have to be careful what I do to this, because if I play like a skill, so like defend and zap are skills, it will gain attack. I do have to play the zap because that's kind of the point of the build, and it boosts the attack to 16 here. I can block to take it from 16 damage to 13 damage, and then I have to punch here. Do I go punch, defend, defend? I think I do go defend, defend regardless, because that should make it so I only take 1 damage here, and then let's punch. Cool. So we're still at 31 health, and we gotta kill this thing this turn if we can. That's too much damage to try to take. And the zapping here should take care of it. So we've taken out that boss, and we got something called Potion Belt. We get 2 extra potion slots, which probably it's not going to come up, but it's kind of cool. And then again, all of these cards are dog shit, so we have to skip them. But this is basically a forced heal. We have to heal because of the double boss that we took, which is fine. Let's click this next. Defend, and then I'm gonna try to get the looter out. I'm not as worried about the louse, but the looter can actually take my money and then run away with it. So probably don't want to do that. We'll take a second zap, punch, defend, because it's 5 or less damage should be 1 damage, and it is. So we'll hit the back row here for game, and then we'll defend, and I should only take 1 damage. Oh, never mind. The louse just died. That helps. We'll skip here because I mean, like, again, none of these are going to be super useful for what I want. Charge battery would almost be good, but it's a cost 1, meaning we do less damage, and I don't like that, so we skip. Now this is not good. We have 1 lightning producing card right now, and I just don't know that that's ideal here, but we have to try. So I'm going to actually, instead of like healing up, I'm going to boost up Thunderstrike to Thunderstrike Plus, because of the fact that we're just not going to be able to do enough damage to this without it. And honestly, we might lose to the slime here, but I mean, I'm no quitter. My mama didn't raise no quitter. Okay. And so we need to get this thing down to 70. Right now it has question marks above its head, so it's not actually attacking me. So that's a very good thing. So I don't know why you just choose the defend, but hey, that's, my brain's a little shot. It's been a long day. Okay, so we gain a strength because of that ritual potion, which it's going to do, this thing's going to do 35 damage. I have to take it under 70 health this time. Okay, and now it's going to split, but it's going to split at 62. Ugh. I do not like that. Okay, yeah, and so the slimes, when they do their little effect, they give me slime cards, which, if you're not familiar with card economy in games, that's kind of a problem. Because it makes your deck have bricks in it, and I do not like bricks. But now I have enough bricks to build a house, so that's not good. I think I still have to try to punch as much as I can instead of getting the bricks out. But if I do play the bricks, they do exhaust, which is nice. So that's something where if I, for whatever reason, am not getting attacked, that would be where I'd use them. Ooh, so I could take a risk here. I'm going to take 11 damage as it stands, right? I could block, punch, slime, or I could go Thunderstrike and do 27 damage. I do think, though, or I guess it would be actually defend, punch, slime, or defend, punch. I need to get these things down to 31 health, though. So I'm going to take a risk. The risk did not pay off the way I wanted it to, but it happens. Oh, but you know what? We're doing it again. We're taking the risk a second time. And the slime splits at 31, so that one's splitting. I'm going to be very frail, but it should be fine. Oh, my strike does 11 damage. So let's knock this one out before it can do damage to me. Channel here, and then my block is also reduced because of specifically the cracked shield thingy. Yeah, frail. So if I use the block card, it's not actually that useful, but I do think I still kind of have to. Alright, I just have to survive this round, because if I win this round, like if I get out of this alive, then I essentially will get my health healed to full. So, I think the play is to knock this out and then defend, because that should take it down to 3 damage, which is 1 damage, in because of the relic up here. Okay, so beam cell, and then we evoke for the game. We are past the first floor. 100 gold comes to me. I get potion of capacity. You know what? I'm not drinking this. I'm discarding this because we will never need that orb. Alright, or potion, excuse me. We will never need that. And yet again, another trash set of cards. I don't know where all the cards for this build are, but I would very much like them to show up. And then all of these relics are bad, so we just skip forward. Hell of a lightning build so far, folks. Generally, we want to have a little more to work with in this, but, you know, things happen. Alright, next up, I'm going to look at this map here, and yeah, this one is not a super ideal boss, so thank you for the follow, Hokage. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. We will go ahead, and I want an early shop to hopefully try to turn my luck around if I can, because this is not a super ideal start. So let's start on the left side here. And, okay, so these two are both thieves. So I mentioned, oh, sorry, this one's a mugger. They both steal a bunch of stuff from us, and we don't like that. We want to try to avoid that at all costs. I'm going to try to take out the looter first. The problem is, no matter what, we are taking at least 11 damage. I will block once, because that way I only take the 1 damage off of this first one. But the second defend is very useless here. So I think we just punch the looter twice so that it's down to 26 health. And yeah, so they stole 30 gold from me, essentially. I don't like that, but sometimes it happens. So this is interesting. So I think we defend again, and then punch. See, this is where I wish I had more orb generation, because I would love to drop the dual cast here. I think I have to. Okay, the risk paid off. Now I'm going to take 1 damage next turn, but there's no passive damage going at the mugger. We'll zap here to get that passive damage turned back on, and then we'll punch it twice. And it is going to try to make a getaway here. We do not want that to happen. 26. Oh, God. Is there a way out of this? So if I punch for 9, it would be down to 23. I think he's going to escape here. Yeah, there was no way around it. I mean, it's fine. We only lost 15 gold out of that, but it's still not ideal. And yeah, yet again, 3 more trash cards for this. Generally, you're supposed to adapt the deck to the cards you get, but we're trying to adapt the deck to a gold this time, which I think is like a super cool way to look at the game. But being mugged hurt my feelings a little bit. Ooh, this is actually interesting, because what the bite card does is it deals 7 damage and heals 2 hit points. We would be down to 47 max hit points if we take this. I think, though, based on the simple fact that right now we are getting, like, destroyed, we have to take this risk. So we're taking the risk. Alright, we're a vampire now. That's cool. Oh, this would have been super nice, but we do not have the money for it. Prismatic Shard, combat reward screens now contain colorless cards and cards from other colors. This would be ideal if I were doing like some sort of weird, multicolor build, but that's not what we're doing. Hey, thank you, Cole. Definitely appreciate it. Feel free to tune into the VOD when you get the chance. I'm they're always here, and I definitely appreciate it. So let's move on to this character. Okay, so now we don't have strikes, but we have these bites, which should keep us alive for a little bit. So let's channel, punch, punch. And then we do about 8 damage because of this plated armor. This enemy is actually kind of hard to beat because of the plated armor specifically. So let's block twice this time and punch here. And we only take 1 damage. It's going to be so hard to kill me, but it's also going to be like annoying for me to try and get through this without any crazy stuff happening. I could either block twice and deal 7 damage and heal 2. I think actually that's probably smarter than doing the Thunder Strike. This is probably a patience round, which I'm not a very patient person, so this is not an easy round for me. And then I take 1 damage. That's fine. Okay. So we've channeled 2 lightning. 20 plus 9 is 29, minus 18 is 11, minus 8 is 3, so it would have 3 damage left. Let's drink the Swift Potion and see what we get. Good, defends. I would much rather defend here, I think, than try to go for the kill, knowing that I can't go for the kill. And then we just bite and finish it off. That seems good. These garbage-ass cards, dude. Why are we getting such bad cards? Like, ugh. I mean, Turbo's kind of cool, but I don't like Void very much, so... White Noise is cool, but I don't like random. I want to control the aspects of the stuff we get, so we just skip here, I think. All right, so this would be funny if I had Static Discharge. Even then, I've got Thorns, so it's going to take 3 damage every time it punches me. So I think we try to hit the back row, and yeah, I don't actually think there's any real point in trying to defend here. We're going to take 15 damage, or I guess we could take 6 damage. I don't think that difference is enough to really matter here. And they both take damage from that, and that was the thought process. So now I'm going to bite the bird, zap, and pass it on that. I want to knock out the bird if I can, but it's just like one of those things where it's just not really worth going for, I don't think. Okay, so when I use the dual cast orb, I got Dazed, which is a card that is going to be a problem later, because again, it's going to thicken my deck and not in a good way. Okay, so the bird is dead, and now I should be able to finish this character off pretty easily. And yet again, a bunch of garbage. Sometimes the luck of the cards is not with you. Alright, so this is actually going to be really tough. This dude essentially keeps spawning these little fuckers back, so I want to get rid of these little fuckers as fast as I can. I'll take the 9 damage, that's fine. And now the owl is going to, I think, try to summon him back, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's an owl. It says Gremlin Leader, but it looks like an owl. I guess that's why I call it an owl. It's probably fine. So we're going to go dual cast and then bite here and then defend here so that we only take 5 damage off this. And now this dude's going to get to attack, which is kind of a problem. But, you know, there's not really a whole lot we can do about it. And then I don't like where this is going. Yeah, so I had to use the fairy in a bottle, which is really unfortunate here, but I have to try and survive if I can. Hey KJM, welcome to the chat. How are you doing today? So we bit twice, beam cell, bite twice, and then orb. So the gremlin will be down here. It's good to hear, KJM. I'm glad to hear it. So I've got this owl vulnerable. I'm gonna take 9 damage. I think we defend to reduce it to 1. And then we punch twice here. I'm trying to take out this back line so that I can just, you know, win the fight. That would be super ideal here. And then there's my 1 damage. And, oh, the owl dude got really big. Okay, that's a problem. Yep, that's going to be the end of this run. It's fine. I'm actually glad to get a new run after the way that one started, because not getting any lightning cards whatsoever really kind of damned this run from the start. So let's do that again. And this time, you know, let's hope it's a little better. The luck of the cards was not with me. Okay, so we have 4 different choices this time. A random rare card, max hit points, I get a curse but a rare card, or I lose starting relic and obtain a random boss relic. So there again, there are 2 decent options here. I like the max hit points plus 7. I also like the obtain a curse for a rare card. I'm going to take the risk though, I think, because if this ends up anything like the last run, I'm going to be very sad if, you know, I don't get any lightning cards. So let's take a risk. That was not worth my time. Skip. I mean, the curse is unfortunate, but I can remove it at one of these if I need to. So that's kind of cool. Just kind of looking at my options here. None of these are great. So I think I start here. Yeah, while in hand, lose 1 hit point whenever you play another card. Yep, that's about how it goes. So basically, the more cards I have in the deck, the better off I'm going to be, though. So that's good news to at least know offhand. So let's get rid of this one before it attacks me. And then we'll put up another Zap Orb to hopefully get rid of this as fast as we can. And it's down. So that moves us onwards. And again, 3 more awful cards. This is just not going well. Hopefully it turns around though. Okay, the matching game. This is kind of fun. Except I happen to know that there's a curse in here somewhere. Ooh, that's 2 really solid cards I want here. Ah! Alright, well that's fine. So we get the cards that we matched. KJM, this is called Slay the Spire. This is a Steam game that I'm really, really fond of. Because it just, the game's never the same. There's just so much stuff that changes throughout it. And I really like that aspect of it. It's a roguelike game, so I just really enjoy stuff like this. Let's go for the second question mark, and that gave me the Cultist, which is swinging 2 sticks. Those things look like they could poke my eye out. Probably not ideal. So we'll open with the dramatic entrance, and then zap and strike. Now, the reason I went for the dramatic entrance is doing 8 damage to all enemies at the start of a battle can take out the bigger hordes of like smaller enemies. So, like the ones with like 8 or fewer hit points, if you run into that, or even 12 or fewer, that's half damage. 16 or fewer, half damage. Just it makes the fight shorter, which is kind of what you want in this case. I'll block for 5 and then punch twice so that I only take 1 damage. Trying to keep the damage that I take very low in this run. And then it's dead because of the evocation of dual cast. So if I were running a Frost build today, like, these 2 cards would have been great. If I just didn't care, I would take this. But, you know, this is a very specific build I'm going for. And I've done this build and it works. It's a really, really fun build, which is why we're doing it. But it's also kind of rough to get to at times, as you can see by the first 2 attempts at this being, you know, not great. So we're going to take 2 damage, or I could defend to avoid taking damage at all. Or I could punch for another 6. I think I have to punch. If I lose by 2 hit points by some miracle later, then I'll feel bad about it then, I guess. And that kills this thing off. So that's fine. Beam Cell. We're fine with Beam Cell. That's at least 1 card we can use. Now, I didn't talk about this potion up here, but Fire Potion in some circumstances can get me out of bad situations. So I'm going to hold this as long as I can for the 20 damage that it does. Oh, I should have done that in the other order. It's fine. We'll block so that I don't take much damage. I mean, taking 5 damage is fine, but you can tell the difference. We did 32 damage compared to receiving 5 damage, so I think that's a positive trade there. And then we'll dual cast for the win here. I mean, Chaos is kind of cool if I were doing multiple orbs, but I'm not, so. We can either choose a boss, or we could choose a campfire, and then a question mark after. I think I choose a campfire here. And let's heal up to full health and see what this is. A loose brick. Receive strike and store a card. This is kind of hilarious. Sure, let's... Oh, I should have stored the curse. No, never mind. I shouldn't have. So what this is actually, this is a way to trade cards between games. So if you ever encounter this if I ever encounter this in another game, there will be a strike I can take. And then we have a boss, and this is a fun boss. So this one will attack first, and the next turn the 2 outside ones will attack, and then the next turn the middle one attacks, and so on and so forth. So knowing that information, I'm going to try to take out this outside one if I can before anything, because this inside one is going to do its 9 damage regardless. And then I think I do this, and then dual cast, and knock it out. Nice. It means that instead of taking 9 damage twice, I only take 9 damage once. And so I'm trying to take as little damage as possible here. But I do have to channel the lightning, which means I have to take the full 9 here, which, it's fine. I can do it. Especially because, like, there should be a heal side before the big boss later. And then I think we defend twice here. Okay. And we have a dazed and a pain, meaning only 3 of our cards are actually useful. But is this more broken than the Yu-Gi-Oh meta? Anyway, let's do that. And then zap, and then dual cast here. So that means that I only have to do 14 more damage after the lightning orb evokes here. And then if we do that, we should have it at 2 health, meaning next turn we win pretty much guaranteed. There we go. Ooh, this is really nice here. Whenever you add a skill into your deck, upgrade it. So there are some cards in this build that are skills. Like these two would be, or this one would be a skill if I added it, but I don't think it's great. Hey, I don't want to special summon a million times, party. Not my idea of a fun balanced meta. But you know what? Hey, I don't make the rules. Okay, so there's another boss here. Ooh, whenever you play a power card, a random card in your hand costs 0 that turn. I've been staring at screens all day, folks. This happens sometimes. Ugh, this is not a clean floor at all because we have to go up through here, and this is how many bosses? Oh, this is only the second elite? Okay, I've just had a really bad, a bad draw so far. Punch, punch, and it's stunned. Okay, so now I need to try and block as much as I can. Ugh, I guess we have to do this. And then we're going to take 3 points of damage here. Okay, so I'm going to take 8 next turn, which will put me to 32. Hey, look, it was this or Pokemon for the 12 billionth time, and I don't think anyone wants to watch me fail at Pokemon anymore at the moment. They get to suffer through that later. Alright, so I have it down to 39. It's going to do 18 damage to me. Ooh, I probably should have done the calculations on that. That would have been 16, 21, 26. Okay, so yeah, I wouldn't have been able to kill from this range. So Kareem, I'm doing a Fire Red Nuzlocke actually. And in that Fire Red Nuzlocke, we made it to like right before Rock Tunnel with no deaths. So I'm actually super excited to finish up that Nuzlocke when I get the chance. So that may happen later after this Slay the Spire run. Once I actually get a decent run where I don't feel shitty about everything going on. But no, it's a really good run so far. The Slay the Spire run, unfortunately, I cannot say the same thing about, as you see by the fact that I have 4 health left. Oh, and now I get the cables. No, that's such a good item. Okay, I'm probably dead, but I have to play it out. But basically, if I play 2 more cards with that pain card in hand, I'm just dead anyway. So if I can get this to split, I could probably escape out of this. Ooh, I might actually be able to escape out of this. No shot. Okay. Oh, the pain card. Neither of these are doing damage. I'm just gonna pass. Okay, we're okay. Everything's fine. Nothing's on fire yet. Ah, we survived. Let's go. Oh, and this is so sick. Tempest, channel X+1 lightning, exhaust. This card right here helps this build so much. I need to get the pain out of my deck though, and I can't take any damage. This is a problem. I'm probably screwed here. I guess there's a shot. Okay, so 12 damage from the get-go here. So let's drink the block potion. And then let's go for all-out offense and zap, of course, because zap's just good. Ah, shit. God, fuck. Why? Okay. So this is a problem. Because if I play 2 cards, I'm dead. But if I don't play 2 cards, I lose. So I think we go for the Tempest play here. Oh, we survived with 1 health. Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, and we're at the fire. We're still alive. Okay. I don't I don't think I had any right to live through that at all. But hey, it happens. Oh god, okay. I need to not take on the elite, as tempting as it is, because I have to survive here. Okay. We're going to take 10 damage. Again, this is not super ideal, but we're trying. And Storm. Okay, that power card, whenever you play a power card, you channel a lightning. So if I start playing power cards into the deck, then I have an actual decent shot of surviving here. This is still not super good yet. The build is fine at the moment. I probably can live if I need to. But it sort of depends on the RNGs here. 33 damage. It's going to do 18 to me. If I block for 5, that's going to bring the damage down to 13. Meaning that I'll have 20 health left. Yeah, there's a chance. I don't think it's total copium to say that there's a chance this time. Usually I'm the first person to call myself out on my copium. We'll go for defend and then channel 3 lightning, which does a good amount of damage here. And we still have 18 health. Make it 17 after this. And now we get a burn card. And at the end of my turn, I take 2 damage. That's not ideal at all. We did survive way longer than we had any right to. But I think this is probably the end of the road. Although, I have gotten luckier before. Okay. It's defending this turn. We have 2 health left. I don't see an easy way out of this. And now it's stronger. Yep, that's gonna be GG. Well, you know, that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes, and we'll try that again. I will run this back a few times. Probably not terribly long, but a few times. Let's go back for the same build here, but this time, let's hope for some better luck. We are going to make a PogChamp move here, and we're going to take the curse for 250 gold. And it's the same curse, so we need to get rid of that one as soon as possible. But this time, we have the gold to get rid of it as soon as possible. And to help me out with that, I'm going to go this furthest left path here. Punch, punch, defend. It's honestly a great game. Like, the developers of this, and there are mods for this too, by the way. The developers of this honestly did a really good job. I got introduced to this something like, I was still in Illinois, so probably 5-6 years ago. And honestly, it's still just, it's a banger. It's one of my favorite ones to just kind of try to make these weird builds on. And this character is just so easy to do that with. None of these cards are great. I mean, the claw is okay. There's a whole build where you can go around zeros. But the problem is, sometimes when you get into deeper floors, it kind of gets really not good. And so I just don't want to even have the chance to drag myself down with that. And then we'll just end turn on that. Punch for... Oh, I thought that was going to kill it. It did not. But those 2 are dead now. It's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing's on fire. Just, you know, my brain cells. But that's normal. Here we go. Static Discharge. This card right here is just so good. So, whenever you receive unblocked attack damage channel lightning, it gets really broken if you get into longer fights. So we take that for sure. And then we need to get the curse out. And then I think... Ooh. I'm going to take a risk. We're going to negate the next 2 curses I obtain. And then we'll go question mark. I'll take 15 health. That's fine. Or 15 damage for that. Didn't really want to upgrade the strike, but it's fine. Okay, so defend, punch, zap. We take 6 damage off this. Not terrible. Block, block, punch. I did not do the dual cast because I didn't think it was super needed there, but I think we do it here because we can get to game. Ooh, self-repair. This one is super ideal for this specific run because a lot of the time, as you've seen already, we take a lot of damage. And now with 37 health, I'm taking on a boss. And we're back on the red guy again. So punch, punch, pass. No unnecessary card usage. No need to boost him up. However, it's worth boosting him up for this. Oh, but he doesn't boost for that. Never mind. Must just be the skill cards that he boosts on. He'll boost on that. Punch. And then I take 16 damage, but he's going to channel a lightning orb. Okay, he'll take 8 damage off that. We'll self-repair at the end of the game. Or the end of the turn, rather. And then we'll do this to hopefully only take 7 damage. Okay, that's fine. And I think we go for the kill here. And that should be the kill. Good, good, good. It was a risk, but it worked. And this card right here, or the relic rather, wing boots. You may ignore paths when choosing the next room to travel to 3 times. This is actually busted. So we like that. Rainbow is almost good, but the fact that it's a cost 2 is just kind of not great. I would take the Seek for deck thinning, but we never need deck thin in this game because our deck is already as thin as possible. So we'll go ahead and heal here. And that puts me to 43 health. And I'm going to take a risk. We're going to use the wing shoes for the first time and see what we have here to work with. And that risk absolutely did not pay off. If we had 40 more gold, we could do this. Taking this waffle is really sick because you get a free full heal. And then you gain 7 max hit points. I do think, though, we're going to take Panic Button. I can't block for 2 turns, but I gain 30 block. This card can actually save me, though, from really bad situations. So I think we take it. Ooh, Prayer Wheel. Normal enemies drop an additional card reward. This hopefully will help us get some, decent cards at some point. That would be nice. We'll rest up to 65, and then we'll go up to this question mark where... Ooh, I think actually the Pog move here would be to take the donut. And then, actually, I think we take on the elite here. So basically, what I'm trying to do at this point is I am trying to stock myself up for the long haul here. I'm taking risks to try to get better cards because I'm realizing that what I was doing was not working. And we're going to take the 18 damage here, which is not great, but it's fine. We'll block twice here and then go 9 damage. This is one of those games, though, like, it's so hard to commentate this game because of the fact that it moves very fast. I lost a strength and a dexterity, meaning I do not get to do as much damage or block for as much. Not great, but it happens. So I think we go defend twice, punch once, take the 10 damage next turn, and then we should be in kill range next turn. And we are absolutely in kill range. So let's use the panic button for fun. And it's dead. Alright, cool. Ooh, bag of preparation. We get 2 additional cards at the start of each combat. So that's going to be nice. And then, oh, boot sequence. This card is one of the cards that I play in this build because you get 10 block off the rip, which is really nice because a lot of the time you basically don't want to put yourself in a bad spot to where you're having to use block turn 1. You're trying to get in and get out. That's kind of the point of the build. But if you can't get in and get out, then sometimes you have to do some strategy like the static discharge strategy. And then I think I'm going to lose the 6 max hit points here. But the reason we took this is getting 25% more gold will help a lot later. Oh, hey, 75 gold for 11 hit points. Fine by me. Especially because the boss is a slime boss, which, as we saw last game, is not a super hard boss. It's just a big boss. So punch, punch. Yeah, there's none of these other cards do anything here. So, punch, punch. And now this is where this card comes in. Because we're taking damage. I don't think I can get it below 70 on this attack. But I am going to block for 17 and then take a zap. Alright, yeah, I knew I was taking the damage regardless, so I chose to make it something useful in this case. And then we'll drink the liquid bronze for the 3 thorns because I have to get out of this specific fight if I can. Slime, slime, strike. Ooh, it's gonna split below 70. Hopefully well below 70. Punch, do this. And we don't have to use a panic button. It's going to go down to 35 and split on this, which means that instead of it's 70 where it would normally split, each of these is half as big as it would be otherwise. Which is the idea here. And I think we defend once. So part of the benefit to passing with unplayed block and strike specifically, there isn't one, but there's no real detriment to it either. If my opponent isn't attacking, like if you don't see the sword with the number on it on top of these, then they're not trying to punch me, so using the defend seems kind of not necessary in this case. Like, none of these cards are super playable here. I do play the slimes because exhausting the cards out of my deck makes sense, but like, these 3 cards aren't going to do anything because the blocks only last for 1 turn. And if I can draw the boot sequence on a turn that one of these is trying to attack, this is a card that exhausts after you use it, so I would rather use it in a situation where it benefits me, if that makes any sense. And then this slime splits at 14. I need to get this one to split so that it doesn't attack. And then I think we try to punch this one out of the game if we can. We take 7 damage, but it's fine because this is a boss round, so not too big. Yep, this is where boot sequence comes in big. And then we'll zap, slime, and then these defense aren't useful because it's 7 versus 7, so yeah, that's actually fine because we just win here. And that brings us to Act 2. These 3 cards are all ass again. Like, why can't I get a good card for anything except for that one time? Empty Cage, Nuclear Battery, Sozu. Channeling Orb puts in your first empty slots if you haven't. Your first orb is automatically evoked. You know, I think I take the Nuclear Battery here because Plasma gives you energy. So I'll start each combat with a lightning and a plasma, so I'll get the lightning orb effect and the energy effect. And then I think this is the spot to start because I want the shop. As you can see, 270 gold is a good amount. Not that you have any frame of reference for that, just trust me on it. So I'm going to potentially take 10 damage. If I would have opened with Static Discharge, I would have played it so that they had to hit me 10 times. But instead, I think we go Boot Sequence here and then try to punch as hard as we can on this one. Now these birds, if they get punched 3 times, they're not actually able to attack. And they just kind of hit the ground. And now this one's so much weaker because of it. But 27 damage is not super ideal here. Heal, heal, or excuse me, defend, defend, self-repair. And then I think we do this to try and do some damage. Yeah, no matter what, we were taking damage there. It's just how it is. Static Discharge is going to be hilarious against this one later. This is about to fly. Generally, if you see 3 question marks over something that's laying down like this, it's about to go back up. And then I'm not even going to defend because the weird strategy point here is that every time this punches me, I'm going to channel a lightning. So I'm going to channel 5 lightning, which should push this one out, meaning I get 2 energy next turn. And then I should get 4 lightning hits, which should do 32 damage spread among these 3. You'll see what I mean in a second here. Yeah, this is just hilarious. Now I think I just win. Yep. Ooh, this is tough. So Storm is probably correct, but Ball Lightning is really nice because 7 damage and 1 lightning is just so good. I do think, though, Storm is correct. And then what's the other card we want? None of those. They're all kind of bad. All right, let's go to the store. Reinforced Body. This card is great. Gain 7 block X number of times, X being however many energy you leave with. So basically, if I draw this opening turn and I see my opponent's going to do a lot of damage to me, I can block for 28. So that's actually a super ideal card, and I want that. And then I think I'm going to take a risk and pick up this Orrery card because it gives me an opportunity to add 5 cards to my deck. And oh my gosh, these two are. This is really hard to choose from, actually. I do take the Discharge, but I want the Reinforced Body. None of these. Recursion is very borderline, and I don't think I need anything like that right now. None of these. They're all bad. None of these. Beam Cell. That's fine. We got 2 cards out of that. That's not terrible. I love this one here. There's a donation box. We're just going to stay in line, and I guess we get cut with the sword thingy. But it does 15 damage for a 1 cost, and then if it kills something, it permanently gains 3. So it goes up to 18, 21, 24. This card is actually really sick. So I'm taking it for sure. No, I'm fighting these bandits. You don't get to bully me. Only I get to bully me. Block. Okay, that's not true. A lot of other people get to bully me too, but hey, it's fine. It's fine. We'll heal. And then the only bad thing about this is we only get 1 hit with it. But if you hit at the right time, the card is so good. Let's go dual cast to see if I can get a kill off it. I can't. That's unfortunate. Do that. And then I think we have to pass here because there's just nothing that we can really do with this. And we don't take any damage. Okay, so we want to run that. Do that. Hold on. 6 block. that would block one of these attacks. I would currently take 23, or I would take 29, depending on how much block I apply. So I'm going to actually use this block potion here, and then I'm going to do this. I think it's imperative that I don't accidentally kill myself here. So, more static discharge. Woohoo. We'll do that. And then beam cell, strike, defend. And let's watch the magic happen, which hopefully will not be me dying. Easy. Now we should be able to just let's just block for 15. I probably could have hit the strike, but it wouldn't have killed him. So it's not that big a deal here. And then now we kill him with this. And the ritual dagger is up to 18 now. None of those are good. So we'll skip. And we'll go to this question mark. Ooh, shit. Do I take this? Oh, I take this. Let's take a risk. I'm feeling risky today. And then we'll heal and move on to this because I don't feel good about taking on an elite. None of those cards are any good. We'll just skip it. And then we'll go here. So what I did is I took out all the strikes for the bites because healing 2 hit points is just going to be so good here, I think. Oh, I guess I could just block for 10 instead of doing that. It's fine. There weren't enough damaging cards for it to actually affect me here. And then let's drink this and do this and punch for 8. Why not? Didn't seem bad. So, bite, and storm. So now if we get static discharges, we channel lightning because of storm, which is super cool. Self-repair probably won't be useful in this combat because we're not really needing it, but just in case. And I don't want to use the dual cast here because it's just not useful. Ah, static discharge. Static discharge. But the dazed here, they're not playable cards, which is not great. So I'm going to eat 21 damage here, but I'm going to channel 2 lightning, which should give me the kill. And I gained 7 back from the self-repair, so... And of course, both cards I can add are thematically garbage. At the start of your turn, deal 3 damage to all enemies. I'll take that. That's pretty good. Oh, damn it. Ah, shit. Okay. Boot sequence. Self-repair. Defend. Static discharge. Yeah, that seems ideal. Kareem, I play a lot of different stuff. A lot of it is honestly Pokemon based. But, like, I have a Switch, so I'll sometimes just stream stuff off there. I do plan to do a stream with the new Mario Kart tracks. I'm just not sure specifically when. I love Fire Emblem. So there's a lot of different stuff that you'll see me play on here that, you know, honestly, it may even be stuff that you may not ever hear me talking about because a lot of the stuff I just kind of try because it sounds cool. That's a kill, and I have to defend here for 5, which is all I can defend for, which sucks because this is going to be a painful turn. But luckily, because of the bites I took, we should probably be mostly okay. I mean... So I'm going to deal damage to this guy here. We're going to be down to 5 hit points, which isn't ideal, but... Oh, good. He loses. All right. He, she, they. I'm not really sure what the gender of that weird plated thing is. I probably shouldn't assume it, but I'm not really sure what to call it. This is a turn where I just think I need to triple bite for the health back and then run self-repair. This is a super hard regular boss fight. Regular enemy fight, rather. I think we have to push the panic button. I don't want to push the panic button. Okay, I guess we're pushing the panic button. Oh god, they're getting stronger. Okay, that's a problem. Defend. And that. And I died. Yeah, I mean, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's just not a very good start so far. I'm gonna probably... Let me see here. Trying to decide if I want to... Should I give it one more try, chat? Or should I switch over to Pokemon? What do you think? I'm definitely down to give it another shot. But also, I'm very much down to continue that Nuzlocke. I'm not going to lie. One more? Alright. Grind DB rated. I'm not grinding DB rated, but I will give this another shot. For one thing, that would require me to like DB, which Dueling Book and I are not friends. We'll put it that way. Choose a card to obtain. Max hit points +7. Rare relic for a curse. I'm going to take the max hit points this time. And I'm going to take this path. This character has eight whole hit points. Punch, punch, end. Punch, punch, dead. Can I get one goddamn good opening card? Just once. Just once. The answer is no. I'm not allowed. Okay, we'll take the gold. And then... Sure, Cleric. I'll take the healing. Hey, look! There's the strike from last game. I'm never leaving myself a more useful card, though. That's a later problem. So I think we try to take minimum damage here again. You'll hear me say that about 30 times with this game because that's honestly the strategy. You just don't want to take damage. Just don't die 5-head is kind of the motto of this game for me. I've only taken 4 damage so far, so I'm feeling confident enough to take on the elite. All right. Okay, defend once and then punch twice, probably. So I'm going to take 11 damage. It's going to put me down to 67. Going to do the ball lightning for the channeling of the lightning. For lack of a better way to say that. And I should only take 5 points of damage. Punch, punch, double zap. Easy. Ooh, whenever you play 3 or less cards during your turn, draw 3 additional cards at the start of your next turn. So this is actually going to be super beneficial to the conservative way I've been playing, which is really nice, actually. I also have 203 gold. I think I'm going to take a weird path here, actually. And I'll show you what I mean once we see the map again. Okay, so it's at 18, and that's game. Master Duel, I do have that. I could do that. But I'm not doing that today. For one reason. Do we really want to see me lose my sanity at Master Duel? Because that would be funny, but would it be good content? You have to think about it like that, right? Yeah, Maxi. Yep. That's... You want to watch me take the Maxi challenge? It'll be funny. Because I'll do it. I'll fucking do it. Alright, let's see. Can I... Okay, so that one's dead. Actually, funny story. I'm not a huge fan of the Yu-Gi-Oh meta right now. Somehow Branded, despite getting support, has turned into Ash Cheeks. And it's really depressing. I think the problem is, like, you've lost so much power from the deck. But also, I may just not be used to playing it the way that it is built at this point, so it could be a me problem very easily. So that one's dead. That one's going to die at some point soon, and then that one's going to die at some point soon. I'll eat the 5 damage, and they'll both die because... Well, because I'm great, obviously. Branded's goated? Okay, so, again, right? It really depends on the way you build it. The way I like to build it, specifically, is that I want to build it in a way to take advantage of the Bystials. But at that point, I could just play Dragon Link, right? Like, I don't know really what to do with it right now. It also may be the fact that I haven't played as much as I want to lately. But that's entirely another story. Like, with streaming, I'm trying to put this as far as I can. One Serenir, one Libellion's actually what I tried last night. But I also tried remaining Fenrir for the extra damage that I was missing. But the problem wasn't that the deck was bad last night. It's that I just kept drawing like ass all day. There was just nothing I could do. But I guess sometimes that happens, right? You're never going to have a day where everything goes right. And sometimes you're just going to have awful, awful games. And I think that's just kind of what happened. That or maybe I am Ash Cheeks. I don't know. Not that big a deal, one way or the other. Because it's a game, right? That's the thing. Okay, so I'm going to block for 15 here. Try to block maximum. Lightning. Vulnerable. Lightning. And now it can't attack. Dragoon is crazy for extra damage. I do like Dragoon. The issue becomes... Oh, thank you for following... Lubcox? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. It might be Lubcause. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, feel free to let me know. But thank you for following. Yeah, Dragoon is really nice. I do like Dragoon a lot. And always have. Like, that is the best part of the deck at this point. But I miss my Bystials so much. They're so nice. It's just so nice to have that extra OTK ability that the deck is missing now. And now it feels like sometimes you're going Branded Fusion or Bust. And because everyone's on Ash at +1, it puts me in a spot where... Oh man, thank you for the follow, Loman209. I'm getting follows everywhere, so I apologize for, having to interrupt here. But I want to make sure I shout out the people that follow me, so... Yeah, I just feel like the OTK ability has been lost from the deck, and that's unfortunate. Aqua Dolphin does go crazy. You're not wrong about that. Aqua Dolphin, though, always has been a really solid card that it comes up in random formats, and I guess this is one of those. All right, we're gonna eat 10 damage here. Let's go static discharge, defend once, punch once. And then I'll channel lightning. That's going to do 8. Cool. Block, block, punch, I guess. This is a much better run than the last one was, but I still don't particularly like this run. But you can see the big difference the ball lightning's having compared to a lot of the cards that I had last time, because it's like a strike with a lightning charge, and that kind of matters in this case. Ooh, meal ticket. I'll take that. Healing 15 every time I enter the shop is kind of pog. Okay, I'll take the additional card. And then I could heal to basically full here. Okay, cool. It's not a trap. We'll take that. Ah, fuck. This card was super ideal. This is actually the main boss card of the build. But unfortunately, sometimes you just run into situations where you can't buy it. If I don't take the meal ticket, this is a really, really, really stupid buy. As far as, like, very, very good. It happens. We'll read. Lose a hit point, lose a hit point, lose hit points. Take the book. Ah, there we go. So now we get a random power card, and we took something like 16 damage to do it. That's not bad. Oh, I just flinched and looked at my Nightbot here. I've programmed a bot to every 15 minutes promote my stuff because honestly, it's probably a good idea for me to try to promote a little better. So hopefully that's not too big a deal. Hopefully it's not too big a distraction. I want to promote myself a little better, I think. Funny number. All right, there we go. And I think awesome. So I think I defend here. Oh, well, I guess defending was completely useless. Oh, look, the minions are back. These aren't the funny yellow things that random 45-year-olds are obsessed with. Okay, this is actually going super well now. Let's duplicate so that we can hit for 14 and then lightning twice. That seems pretty good. Oh man, misclick. I didn't want to block there. There was no need to. Oh well. It's probably fine. Ah, shit. That's a problem. Because I'm going to take damage because I did not pay attention. Yep, that's about how it goes. Oh wait, it's gonna kill itself. This is fine. This is perfectly fine. Oh, 2 random skills? Oh good, I have better defense, I guess. Oh, I like this card. FTL. A 0 cost, 5 damage, and if you played less than 3 cards this turn, draw a card. It's just such a nice card. We do have to rest here because we took a bit of damage there. Ooh, okay. Sure, we'll play the random power card. Ball lightning, zap. Oh, so this one right here. This thing gains a bunch of blocking each turn, so we have to try to break through the block. But unfortunately, it's a situation where I have to be really patient, I think. And yep, it just gained 25 more block, and now it's going to start doing damage. What in the world? Why is this yellow? Well, whatever, we're going to do it. Okay, so I think we take the block. If I dual cast it, I could have gotten it down to 3 hit points, but this is still fine because it dies either way. Ball lightning again, and ball lightning again. Feel like we're taking a lot of ball lightnings. Whenever you... Oh, this is nice. Whenever you would deal 4 or less unblocked attack damage, increase it to 5. We like to see that. This was a good call. Running this back was... It seems like I'm getting some better luck now. Ah, we got electrodynamics, even if only by proxy here. So now lightning's going to hit all enemies. Which is actually going to be super sick. Alright. There's no way around this, is there? I think we drink the plated armor potion to at least get 4 blocks so that I don't take a shitload of damage. Okay, so beam cell first for the vulnerable, FTL for the draw, ball lightning, and now it's dead. And now you see this build actually doing what it's supposed to. Things are starting to get a lot easier for me, which means that you'll start to see me take more risks as we go through. Strawberry, max hit point raised by 7, or I could take a power, attack, and a skill all in the same turn for removal of debuffs. I'm taking the strawberry. So we're up to 89 health. That's going to be really huge later, I think. Ah, shit. Okay, I didn't count properly. That's fine. It's mainly fine because we're at such a high health point count that, like, it's whatever if we have to take a little bit of damage. We can stop being so, like, careful about everything at the moment. Oh, and 3 ball lightnings in a turn. This is just free real estate. Nothing here. And... I mean, loop has been really nice when I've gotten it, but I'd rather not add it to the deck. Okay, we're not using capacitor. I actually hate this card for this specific build. If I were using a build, like maybe a dark build, it might be good, but not in this build. So let's go FTL for the draw, static discharge, ball lightning. Oh, okay, so this is a Snecko, right? What this thing's going to do on its turn is it's going to randomize the cost of all my cards. So this could backfire straight into this thing's face, but it's also not a small opponent. As you can see, 86 health is a lot, so I think here we... none of these are particularly good. So I think what we do is I'm going to gain strength here, and then I'm going to punch with the ball lightning. We're just going to have to eat the 15 damage. There was no good way around it. But here, there should be a good way around a lot of things because I got a 0 cost ball lightning off the Snecko spit, so that's kind of funny. Oh, Thunderstrike. We're in there. Beam Cell. Ah, this build's getting good now. We still do not have electrodynamics, which would be the ideal thing to have happen, but going into the boss of the second act, this is fine. We're in a good spot. Okay, so bias cognition in this specific fight is probably not going to be super good. But what I am going to do is I'm going to drink all my potions for the +4 strength because I need to try and kill this thing as fast as I can. I can see this getting out of hand if I don't. And yeah, you see that these things are higher damage outputs. You definitely expect that from a boss in this case. I'm trying to get rid of this one specifically as fast as possible because I could see this becoming a problem. All right, yeah. I need to get rid of the little fuckers, I think, now. At least one of them. And then defend for that. Yeah, that seems good. As long as I come out of here, since this is a boss battle with some semblance of hit points, we're in a good spot. Alright. Awesome. It's down to 89 health at this point. Make it 80. And now I'm getting the nail effect. That's fun. Okay, I think it's going to try to summon its characters. And now we're going to get to see Thunderstrike. Goodbye, boss. See you in the afterlife, you little bitch. And none of these are good. Damn. We will take the Slaver's Collar here because we gain an extra energy during boss and elite combats, and that's just really good here. But I don't think we're going to get the full lightning build. We might still win the entire thing though. So at this point, I'm going to try to avoid elites as much as I can on this in this specific act. Hello world. Okay, that was cool. And then we'll defend here. So this, yeah, let's hope so. I'm gonna try my best. I'm definitely going to try my best. I do not like losing at all, so trying to win seems super ideal in this case. Ooh. I think actually, yeah, we're gonna streamline because it becomes a 1-cost card next turn. So it's 1 cost for 15 damage, which just seems really good. And now we're just gonna get random common cards. That's actually kind of fun. Static Discharge, Ball Lightning, and go for the eyes here. This one's going to, yep, it heals for half because of the lifelink ability, but I'm not really worried about it because these things aren't going to be alive much longer, so. All right. What are you gonna do? Hit me for 8 damage and then get thunder, or hit with the thunder orbs. There we go. That's the word. None of those are good, so we'll move on to the next one. Oh, look, a free static discharge. That's fine by me. It's almost, I could almost say that's ideal, right? Defend. Okay. Ah, this is so close. I don't actually know how this is going to go yet. We're going to be close on whether or not we can survive this. Oh, but there's 22 life on board. We'll just kill him with the Thunderstrike. You know, this one's fine. We'll take the boot sequence. Ah, shit. This is a decision. This either wins me the game or loses me the game. And I think I have to run away from it. I can't be greedy here. I will lose if I am. So whenever I play a power card, draw a card. That's actually really nice. Boot sequence, and then we'll lightning twice. And then self-repair at the end of combat. I'm going to take damage here. We're still alive for the moment. Ah, second Thunderstrike doesn't do anything for me, though. I can't take that. Okay. So, hear me out. What if I take the second boot sequence, and then I get 23 block for free at the start of my turn? I'm gonna try that. I've never actually tried that, so why not, right? Start a combat, draw 2 extra. Start with 1 strength. Apply 2 vulnerable. You know what? I want to start with 1 strength. That might actually be super useful. So Thunderstrike is so broken, but you gotta remember it's a 3 cost card, right? And it's something that gets better as the game goes on, meaning that early game, it is actually just dog shit. So you do not want to use it early game. I mean, but that would have to be something that you ask the developers on, unfortunately, because I don't have the answer for you. Oh, God. You know what? Take a risk. Ooh. Full heal. Let's go. We'll take that. And then, yeah, even though I really want that static discharge, we just can't afford anything at that point. That was just to dodge an enemy. Oh, whenever you use a potion, heal 5 hit points. Good thing I totally have potions, right? Ooh, okay. So I'm going to actually just do some weird moves here. We're gonna boost up Thunderstrike. Ah, shit. I have to fight now. God damn it. Alright, that's fine. Boot sequence, beam cell, self-repair, zap. And we can't use the Thunderstrike, so we end the turn. But yeah, Thunderstrike at the beginning of the game just doesn't do anything, which is unfortunate. I also just noticed that the Slay the Spire lightning build thing that I put on my overlay, that's not actually the most centered thing in the world. I'm going to try to center that for next time. I apologize for that. Let's go for that, and then probably that. I'm trying to even out the damage I do to these, since they'll just resurrect themselves at half health if I don't. And then probably defend. Okay. These two will come back to life next turn if I don't get the kill. Luckily, that's not a problem when you have a Thunderstrike that does 120 damage, right? This is not a Thunder card, but it is hilarious. We'll take the second boot sequence. And another static discharge. This is fine. This is actually way fine. We will rest to get back to full health. And then we'll fight these 2 enemies here. So you'll notice that I'm really, really avoiding elites the best I can here, because those are run enders, and I just can't afford that right now. Let's go for... What the hell's going on here? This one has thorns. I'm going to take a total of 27 damage. Let's just defend and then strike here, since we can basically ignore all damage that we would take at that point. Ooh, okay. So we Thunderstrike here. Thunderstrike here. Now that one's dead. Make this one vulnerable. And then punch this. Yes, we take 5 damage each time, but that's not a big deal here. And then we get a static discharge off the potion. That's fine by me. Another static discharge. Ball lightning here. Self-repair. I could have taken the defend there and it would have been perfectly acceptable. I don't think there was a wrong play there. And that's going to be the ball game as far as that opponent goes. Neither of those are good. And then we have this final enemy. And this is a growth. Imagine if that was growing out of you. Actually, don't. That's disturbing. Distill Chaos? Sure. Strike, Evocation? That's fine. We'll go Beam Cell, FTL. This. I don't want to do that, but I think I have to. And then this. So I only take 8 damage off this, which is fine. Gain 2 energy, add a void to your discard pile. I'm willing to take the risk right now. So I'm going to take 8 damage off this. That's fine. Oh, apparently it was 16 damage. Oh, it's 18 because of that. That's fine. Oh, I'll just get a kill with Thunderstrike. Okay. We're alive. That's the important thing. None of those are good. And now we rest. And it all comes down to this. Can I beat the Act 3 boss with my ultimate Thunder build? I suppose Lightning build, but you get the point. Oh, and I got Electrodynamics to start. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. Oh, I think this is... Ah, crap. This enemy hasn't awakened yet? That can't be good. So I'm gonna get Chop Suey'd for 21. That's not good. This is going to get rough, I think. Well, bon appetit. Okay, so it's going to do 28 damage to me. I think we have to... Thank you, baby, on a highway for the follow. Definitely appreciate it. We'll go Ball Lightning, and then I think we have to start blocking as much as we can here. So it's going to hit me for 22 minus 16, so 6, and then it takes 2 lightning, but it heals itself too. That's something else I gotta keep in mind. Okay, so it's gonna hit me 4 times, which will kill me or it'll kill him. Them. It. I don't really know. It's Awakened one. So them. We'll just say them. Oh my gosh, it's taking 4 lightning for each time. But I don't think it's gonna be enough. Ah, that sucks. That is just unfortunate. Like, okay, so we had the build almost exactly there. The only thing that would have helped is like Electrodynamics. But, I mean, oh, and another Tempest. Like, we didn't have a Tempest in this build, which actually kind of sunk us. Because Tempest gives you the number of energy you spend on it plus 1 when it's upgraded. So you can basically get 4 Thunders for free. Or 4 Electric Orbs. There are 3 acts, so that was the final boss. And that's why I'm just like, alright. But there is an endless mode, as I could show you a couple things here in this. So if we go to play, you can actually do a custom run, and if you do endless here, winning will return you to Act 1 with the same deck. But beware, the blight eventually consumes all. Yeah, so, I mean, it happens. I played so much of this game, honestly. It's such a fun game, but